Hey guys, this is a match against Pilsen GTV on Dry Arabians playing as Delhi Sultanate. Sorry about the long hiatus in filming. I just get a chance to play a few games, so I should be able to upload this whole week coming up. The connection was pretty good, so I was able to play some games. So against Delhi, I was gonna go with the one TC kind of aggression build for map control since Delhi has sacred sites. Gonna have to contest. Um, Sometimes I like to do, or I used to like to do a lot of rushes against Delhi to delay their goal, to delay their age up, and in this specific case, it definitely would have been worth it. Even though it's a back spawn, he's super late on his gold pickup on his build order. So against this kind of a build order, we would have definitely been able to do really well with a drush, and we did it. Excuse me. I mean, it's not. It's just. It can be a dangerous move. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. They're always going to throw up a barracks, but even just being able to deny this age of time is pretty big. So, if someone had done this with a tower and barracks, they would pretty much. You probably could win this game in Dark Age against someone who doesn't go for gold. Who goes for gold this late. So, just something that happens. And yeah, just overall, this match was okay. It was a just minor lag, not super bad. Um, but it was my first match of the day, so it was pretty bad gameplay overall on my part, I would say. And so he's rotating on the gold now, sending off 4 villagers on the gold. Yeah, 4 villagers on the gold. And with 4 villagers, I mean, he'll get his gold quickly, but we basically had 2 minutes to rush there, so we would have been definitely able to do the rush. We would have taken him off of berries, forced him onto his sheep earlier, which isn't huge, but does add up. And he would have forced him onto wood. And we could have camped his wood basically. Just kind of dove it and forced him to do something there. So, maybe that was the right play against Delhi. I mean, this isn't your typical Delhi build order, so excuse me. Um, yeah, don't expect. I guess a drush to always. This is like the dream scenario for a drush that he doesn't go for gold until 2 minutes. But yeah, we're just capping up. Going with Deerstone. We want to go with trade, but a delayed trade, so he doesn't go too aggro on us. Honestly, it might have been better to go Symmetry and force his army to come across sooner to delay his castle timing. Let's go on to, there we go. You can also see in terms of villager count, we're actually really close. He was only barely ahead of us, which is a pretty big deal. So it just kind of, in this match, we just actually make a bunch of mistakes because it was definitely a lot more winnable than what it ends up being about 15 minutes down the road. It's just little mistakes that we make. Yeah, but again, yeah, a drush, he could have denied a bunch of gold, which is really big for him. It really slowed down his build order, so something to think about against Delhi players in the future would be a drush. Kind of look at it, think about doing it some more, because that kind of forces a prolonged feudal, which is definitely kind of in our favor. We're just scouting, picking up sheep. More villagers on the food here. And Decide to go for range first, to go for Mangudai first, and then into Geshits. And he does decide to drop a barracks immediately. And he does pull 12 villagers onto wood. So this is going to be kind of an archer spearman play. And he got all these villagers on the wood because he wants to drop a range. He bump into his scouts. We're going to be able to take this out. And we're able to stay in range with the Mangudai, which is a pretty big deal. Bringing our Khan over, and we're going to start harassing. One thing that we should have looked at a little bit sooner was perhaps dropping a tower on wood. So that's definitely another thing. You know, denying gold early against Delhi is pretty important, but later on it's usually not as important because they're going to go for sacred sites once they get their scholars out. But one thing is their wood line. So their army is almost always going to need a lot of wood. Archers are 50 wood. So you'd have to definitely try to look into denying their wood. He does a good job of realizing this here. And this is where things start to get a little bit hairy. He's got better military numbers now because he's cranking out infantry units. And then we both get a hit from the spearman on our Mangudai, and it's huge. The 2 free hits from the spearman basically turned this whole early scenario. Because I don't take this fight against these archers because of that just such weak Mangudai. So after that hit with us, so I was able to fight this a little bit better. It might have gone a little bit smoother being able to fight this army and push him back. But you can see he's just cranking out archers. At which point, we definitely would have been able to see, we should have been able to see this, and we should have split our army, left some here to make him commit to this, stay honest. But we should be looking into diving his wood line, and we do have officially a safe pocket back here. Another thing is we just brought the tower up onto here, so looking into denying wood is definitely something that we could have done, and we missed out on. We're able to pick up one villager. Again, it's nice, but it's not end of the world type stuff here. And we do kind of a mistake with a Mangudai. We pile them in front of these archers, and we end up losing a couple Mangudai, which we didn't have to lose them. So it's just kind of bad micro right there. A little mistake. We do have a scout back here, which isn't doing much. He should be up over here or over here, getting some better vision. This is their path to the deer. Excuse me. If you there we go. So it's a little bit better. Let's go to vision here. So now we have a shot onto the deer, and we can see if he heads to the deer. So that's a lot better position there. We're bringing horsemen over, and we've got some Keshiks out. So we need to keep kind of hitting different spots around his base, and we find these spearmen and this archer mass. Again, one spearman is gonna be able to wreck our horsemen, and we do realize that it's all pretty much spearmen. And instead of fighting this here, we have our scout back here, Mangudai over here. We do have a massive Mangudai. And we should be trying to raid this wood line. And we're now 9 minutes in, and now he's dropping a couple of towers, and it's going to make it really hard to hit. But we could have been raiding that wood line, pushing these archers back, if we had been fighting with a Mangudai back here. So not being willing to dive under this TC was kind of a big mistake. That definitely would have been a good move a minute ago. Even now, diving with the cab wouldn't be a bad move at all. But we got focused onto the gold, as if we were playing HRE or something. We just totally messed up. We decided to go for gold, and he pulls his villagers onto food. I don't know if he saw it, I don't think he did see it. Or he might have seen it with his tower. Well, we're finally started harassing here when he's starting to go for Sacred Site, so we can't contest the Sacred Site pick, really. The army, army value wise, he's a little bit higher than us, but we're relatively close, but it's a pretty good comp when he's got those 5 spearmen. We would do quite a bit. So we burned on his mining camp, which is a little bit of money. Again, not super worth. It would have been a lot better to be over here dealing with his towers, pushing his backline, forcing a fight back here. And so that's kind of a big thing. When we had our army, instead of rotating onto a wood line, we got kind of sucked into fighting his base. And then we kind of mismanaged this fight over here really badly. We get some really bad micro in here. Our guys are just running around, they're not actually fighting. I right click instead of A click. So we miss out on a lot of damage. And then when we finally do start attacking, it's a little bit late. And I think if we had done that a little bit sooner, it would have been a little bit different of a scenario. But either way, this fight was something that I didn't have to take. Again, if we were fighting elsewhere over here, diving his wood line, slowing this down, we could have been trying to pick up these other sacred sites, pick up his scholars. So little things like that, if we had avoided this main fight, you know, we're the mobile army, so we should be able to pick the fights that we want to take. So there's just definitely, I think that's probably one of the big key swing points is right there at that 10-minute fight. Losing the vast majority of our army, military count goes from 34 to 5. Even though we have technically a eco lead because we're starting to trade, and we're getting decent trade, we're getting 30 gold per trip. We can't. We're really fighting behind on military, and we're gonna lose map control. And so now we're trying to raid his eco where we can. Again, be annoying and get back into this game. But again, thing is, we didn't do this earlier. We should have done this a lot sooner. A little bit of mismarker with his Mangudai. He's able to run through his base. But now he's triple crapping sacred sites, and we're gonna go on the board here. We're trying to trade our food. We also did mess up our food eco a little bit. But in general, it was just that big fight there was just a really bad fight. We could have been fighting over here, and if he had forced his army to fall back or split on us, he wouldn't have triple sacred site capped on us. He does a really good job of taking map control and advantage of our big mistake immediately, and he does start setting up for a food transition over here, which is something that we just barely missed. So if these Mangudai had stuck around on these berries, I would have been able to do a lot of damage here. And deny a lot of food early. Because the big thing is the denial of the food. If you deny the food, all of a sudden food production stops. And that's a big deal. Also, pulling the scout instead of leaving the scout here for vision was also a mistake because we were trying to catch the deer transition. So pulling it into our military group, into our army group was a mistake. That was definitely something we didn't need to do. We knew this was getting walled for the sacred side vision, so again, really big mistake pulling my Mangudai here because I knew he was walling it already, so there wasn't anything I could really do there. And it was just a bad mistake. Not necessary for my guys to be here. And we do rotate back to the berries, back to where we initially wanted to be, which is decent. We do get a couple catches to keep Captain's going on the sacred side, but he's bringing the army over. We do lose this third Keshik, unfortunately, which is rallying over. Gets poked by every spearman there and instantly dies. But we do catch this deer transition at a fairly good time. We're hitting the deer at the same time we're hitting the berries, and it makes it so he doesn't realize he sees the deers, but he doesn't see down here the berries. So we're getting a bunch of villager kills, which is gonna help kind of pull us ahead in terms of eco. But again, we are not able to kind of like sustain this properly, and he is also on double sacred side, so he's getting quite a bit of eco behind the scenes because of this as well. So unfortunately we only have 3 Mangudai, so he didn't get as much damage as I would have liked. But imagine if he hadn't taken a fight, he was under his base, he was getting forced to really contest this wood and set up farms. It definitely would have been a little bit of a different of a scenario. He wouldn't have been tapping up to compound the defender. But since he's able to kill us and he's able to stop building military, he was so far ahead of military that he basically is able to castle up with no worries. You know, he's gonna castle up, and I'm, you know, struggling to get my eco setup, as well as I'm looking to go castle as well. But I am trying to build military units because I knew that the castle age was coming. There's a response, and we're going to finish saving up the build as well. Try to run back and deal with the spearmen. He does a really good job of sending his army. That's not very mobile, but he does a good job of sending it over and stopping us. And the second he went for castle, we should have started pulling these keshiks onto sacred sites or onto relics. Same as with this Khan, I could have gone to these relics over here. So that's kind of a mistake on my part, not going for map control on the relics, because it's Delhi. And he's already getting a ton of free gold from sacred sites. He's gonna get a whole bunch more now from relics. And one key thing that we're gonna notice here is that he's collected about 526 gold. He's only mined 526 gold, so we're gonna see at the end of the game how much gold he's got. That was kind of like our fault for not committing to this a little bit better. He's picking up under our trader vision. We didn't notice it, so that's again another big mistake. And leaving our catches to burn down the mill for a minute or whatever, they get immediately nuked, and they didn't get to take out this take out those two priests. So that was a big thing. We do get somewhat our brain together and take out this one prelate, but again, if he had our big mass, we would have stopped this other one. He's already picked up one relic. Here comes the second relic, and yeah, he's got a whole bunch more relics on the way as well. So he's sitting in a pretty spot. He's grabbing the last one, this closest one, safe one for him. So, and he's walling up this northern side. So this is to kind of pick up this wood on the end. He's also securing 2 gold notes just in case. But I mean, he's picked up all the relics. We're sitting in a pretty good spot. And we're rotating our army. Bears are sitting in a good spot. We're able to deny this, but again, his army is so close here. We're not in a great spot to do much here. He's also castle age, so he's making lancers now, and he's gonna go start hitting our trade line, which is gonna be pretty painful. We do lose 1 horseman here. We realize that the army is here. This is something that we start doing now, but we should have been doing, 7 minutes ago. Is seeing this army we can't fight and just falling back, not trying to engage and make a fight. If there's too much micro involved, it's usually not worth it early. And we made this really greedy play. We're gonna go set up on his deer, but he was already walling, and on top of it, one of his knights found us. So we're gonna lose a bunch of food out on this. We should have gone for our own deer patch right here. And again, the horsemen do a little bit of raiding, but we've got to fall back. And we've killed quite a few villagers, but now he's equaling up the villager kill count, killing our traders, as well as these villagers out here in the middle. So at this point, he's closing down this eco gap that we've got, which is a pseudo eco gap because he's got so much gold, passive gold that he's been able to collect. As you can see, yeah, 400 gold a minute right now. So we're talking 10 villagers. So he's not really an eco gap at this point. In fact, he's probably gonna pull ahead now. And yeah, at this point, we're just trying to find holes to raid, break the sacred sites, kind of try to do something. But we had thrown this match so hard, and Delhi had snowballed so well from our mistake, capitalizing on our mistakes that we paid. We really shot ourselves in the foot, so I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. Afterwards, looking at this match, there was just so many things that I could have done better that was definitely disappointing. We do have a veteran Mangudai, and we do have a veteran Keshiks as well as veteran Horsemen, and we're just trying to mass up now at this point. We've got 52 to 8 military count. And we've been able to harass and do some damage here, just running around, but again, we're such a far behind position right now that it's not going to be easy to get back into this. So pull a bunch of traders. We're able to kind of pseudo protect our trade line at this point, but he's definitely ahead of villagers now on villager count. and he's just massing his army while sacred sites. He's picking up the last relic right now, and he's gonna be sitting in a really good spot. Yeah, he's at 800 gold a minute. So I don't know if he actually started. Okay, so yeah, he did start mining gold again. So we've got 500 gold here, and we'll just keep track of this for the end of the match to see how much gold he's got left on this, and you'll see how much gold he actually got in this game, just from passive gold. So he's currently sitting at like, he was sitting before he put the villagers on. He was sitting at like 10 villagers on gold. He's getting what, 100. Each relic is worth what? 80? 80-ish? 80, 160, yeah, so worth about 2 villagers worth of gold. So he's getting probably get a couple more. Yeah, so he's sitting close to 14 villagers worth on gold. Here we run into his villagers on this berry patch over here. We're able to kill a couple, which is nice, but again, it's just not. It's not a great. It's just too little, too late is what it is really. And he's pushed up on this over here. He's able to wipe out pretty much all of our cavalry. We just take a really bad fight again. On the spearmen, I guess we didn't see them properly, but I was microing over here. That's probably what more likely happened. I was microing elsewhere, and here we're just gonna run for this knight, or try to run for this knight. We're gonna get some good kills, and that's really good. But he's shutting down a trade, and he's gonna shut down the infrastructure. So this definitely is gonna be an overall losing fight for us. Once we lose our infrastructure, there's no way we can keep up with this. You know, we're gonna be able to kill this Lancer, but if you had like a mass of like 10 Mangudai here, you could get some serious damage, but we're just too far behind. 16 military to 11. You know, villager count, it says we're way ahead, but we gotta remember he's also getting a ton of passive gold. Yeah, 1100 gold a minute with only 5 on gold. 5 villagers on gold is on 200, so 900 gold a minute. 900 by 40. He's like 20 villagers worth in terms of gold right now, so that's a really big deal. And that definitely what looks like a villager difference is it really isn't, because he's just focusing everything onto wood and food. Just helping him go ahead. With these 4 Mangudai, I've been able to do a lot of work running around skirmishing and annoying him, but again, if this was a bigger mass, if I was able to get up to castle with at least a 10 Mangudai mass, all of a sudden these raids become exponentially better. We try to reposition, but at this point the match is kind of over. We knew we were really far behind. We knew he was on triple sacred sites, only needs 7 minutes to win. Triple sacred sites, he's got 5 relics, so we know that even though we're killing a bunch of villagers, we're not killing enough to really change it. You know, with these knights chasing under Mangudai, we're able to kill those knights and start chasing us. But now we're gonna lose our Mangudai. We stop paying attention for a little bit. I get sniped out, and with no way to really do any eco damage while trying to hold under here, we knew that it was pretty much game over. So just kind of how the cookie crumbles there. Would love to see how much gold he had. We weren't clicked up onto there. Oh well. But what's the total gold that he has picked up? Timelines. I wonder if we got gold count. Economy, gold. So we knew he mined initially 500, and that other second mining operation he mined at least 500. We'll just say he mined 1,000. So he mined 1,500, and he got 6,000 gold from passive gold income, so which is huge. He got pretty much the total amount of gold that we got just on passive gold income. So without that, he's not making knights. He's not making. I guess knights is the biggest thing that he's not making, since Delhi gets all this free upgrades, but he didn't have to spend it elsewhere. But I mean, on knights, like 1,500 gold worth on knights, if you're considering your age up times, your age ups, you're taking 800 off of there, so you've got like 700. So you're talking like 7 knights versus the I should show how many knights he got. So the big thing is the kill ratio here with our build. Well, it's not the only thing, but a big thing that you can tell how well we did on a game, how badly we got stomped or not. If this kill ratio is really bad for us, we definitely usually lose the games. So overall, it was an interesting game just because it was Delhi. He did have a little bit different build order, and he did a really good job of capitalizing on all of my mistakes. Capitalizing on all of my mistakes. And here it shows the villager count dropping, but it doesn't show economy count. Okay, this is the economy. Like we're ahead on economy, but um, it's just not. The big thing is the gold, the passive gold income was huge. All of his villagers were committed onto food and wood, while we couldn't. So I think the big takeaways on this map, on this match, were if you're Drushing Delhi is definitely a viable option to slow down their feudal timing, which is always in your favor. If you do with barracks, that's even better. And towers, like you actually be able to contest them pretty good in Dark Age with that. If you do with horsemen, it's gonna be kind of rolling the dice, but you'll get some good map control out of it. And then the other thing was after we were age 2, trying to get a tower onto their wood line is pretty important, even probably more so important than getting anything onto their gold. And then the other thing that was really big was just taking a good fight. If the numbers are kind of iffy, there's no need to take it. If he's pushing out on the map, pushing for sacred site, kind of like what he was doing, instead of me engaging with him out in the field, thinking, yeah, he's away from his base, I can actually win this now. Um, do a really good job taking notes of the numbers, how many units are there. I think maybe that fight is winnable with good micro, with like decent micro, since we kind of messed up our micro and stuff. We didn't dive in immediately. I think if we dive in immediately on those archers, start hitting them immediately, get the Mangudai to snipe the spearman like immediately, I think it's a possible victory there. But it would have been so close either way. I don't think it's worth it. And what we should have done is, we realized his army was there because we kind of stopped raiding before that. If we kept raiding, it would have been big. And the other thing would have been realizing his army's out of his base. So that means his wood line's exposed, his food's exposed. And his food wasn't exposed really because he was collecting sheep, but his wood line was. If we shut down the wood, we get no more archers, we get no more spears. It really slows him down quite a bit. So, and it pulls back his army too from the sacred side. So we can rally new reinforcements and kind of work around that. So, taking that fight, losing that fight, he basically immediately capped triple sacred side. Zeus did a really good job of seeing, like the whole match. Like the second I lost my army, he knew that was my whole army, and he immediately went for all the sacred sites. So that was a really good transition by him. Um, but yeah, I think that was the other thing, is not taking that really bad fight, because if we don't take that fight, we're actually ahead eco wise. And if we're able to contest the sacred sites, or just leave him on one sacred site, it really slows down his castle timing. If we slow down his castle timing, um, we're able to prolong feudal. We're actually in a pretty good spot that way, since we were trading behind the scenes. So just some interesting stuff on this match. Just a lot of mistakes, but I mean, a lot of things to learn from that match. So good game to our opponent. Thanks for watching, guys. I should be able to upload games every day this week. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.